What's going on, people? SecondBlank here, and I'm dead tired right now. I just got back from work, and in all honesty, like the first thing I did as soon as I got back from work is I took off most of my clothing. I'm just in my undies right now, and I don't think you want to see that kind of imagery in your minds, but you are. So ha 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 ha. But you don't know what I look like, so maybe it doesn't really help with the trolling, does it? Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing. So I'm kind of relaxing, chillaxing, resting all my muscles, preparing for this epic 4-day weekend where I just have all to myself in order to do whatever the fuck I want. Mostly play video games like I always do. And of course, if I can, hang out with my good buddy Shenanigan X. But that's another story for a different time. In my line of work, people, and I'll lay it out flat for you guys. I deal with every sort of people, like every single sort of person that you can imagine. I deal with, okay. You know, this is not talking from like my tutor job. I also do part time as a office assistant at my college, and I do it as a favor for my tutor boss because you know she's very nice to me and she got me the job also. So, of course, I want to do her the favor and, you know, help out her colleagues in order to, you know, get through, you know, the work day and then, you know, probably get paid for, well, not probably, but I do get paid for it. So, you know, it kind of is extra money on the side, you know, so favor for her, favor for me, favor for everybody. So, you know, it's always good. The problem is, though, is that I am well, in order to make much more sense for you guys, I am like the front guy. I am the person that everyone deals with in the office. Like once you walk into the office, you are directly dealing with me whenever you're talking to someone behind the desk. That is my job. I am there as like this quote-unquote customer service guy. And it really does suck for me because like for me, I'm not a people person, so to speak, as in like I hate people in general, especially when they're acting very stupid with me, when they're being very rude or they're just not, you know, comprehending what I'm saying. Then I get very irritated and I just want to just bash him in the head with a stapler. But, you know, I play a pretty nice front for them as well. Because, you know, I usually hide all that anger and hate with, you know, nice lovely smiles and, you know, friendly greetings and, you know, nice speaking voice. That way they don't get to see how much of a monster I am behind this mask. And, you know, I talk like this. I always try to keep up a smile on my face just to keep from them suspecting that at any given moment I could destroy them so badly. But yeah, I do that most of the day, mostly during the day when I work there, and then I just get off and then just say fuck it to the world and just shut myself in playing, you know, video games. But the problem is when I work in that kind of environment, you see a whole different side of people whenever you're dealing with them. You know, be it whether you are talking to them on the phone or you're speaking to them face to face, there are rude people no matter what. And people who deal with, like, let's say in the food industry, people who work in the food industry mostly see this happen also. Actually, people who work in the food industry more than likely see that kind of BS more than I do. You know, so they could probably tell you stories or like multiple stories about any given day of where, you know, some customer was being a dick to them just because for the sake of it. And, you know, you would think that in an office setting you would see less of that, but because they expect you to see more professionalism over there, they expect you to have all the answers or to give you like hand on foot service, so because they're the quote unquote customer. And I sort of see where they're coming from when they do that, but that does not give them permission to be a dick to me or to anyone in general. Whenever I'm dealing with people, whether it be people who are, you know, in the food industry or, you know, even like behind a desk, behind a counter in a store, I treat them with respect because I know what they do is hard, and I know that, you know, giving them a hard time is like giving me a hard time. So, you know, I want to get on with the day and I want to make sure it goes smooth as possible whenever I'm talking to people. So, you know, always treat people with respect. So that way we can both have a sense of mutual respect for each other and then just get on with our lives. But that doesn't tend to be the case at some given moments. I always dealt with people like that in a day-to-day basis, whether it be on phone and or face-to-face. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. In the place where I work with students over there at a daily basis. So I'm always talking to them. I'm always trying to hear what they gotta do, why they're here at the office, and what they're wanting. And there was this one student who was actually a veteran who just came back from Afghanistan. He was in the Marine Corps, and he was very, very enraged about what happened in one of his classes. Apparently, there was a professor who was not giving him the best of times in that class and wanted to report him for being rude to him, who's displaying a level of misconduct towards the student. And he wanted immediate retribution towards this professor. And I would totally understand how you would want something like that to happen. But the fact of the matter is, in the place where I live, we go by policy and rules of, federal governments and states. So we have to abide by them and abide to the rules of what is, established in the school, rather than what the student wants, to happen. So we have to take priority when it comes to that kind of stuff. Well, apparently the student did not like that. He did not like the idea of having to basically ignore his I would say, I don't know how you call it. Ignore his orders, in the sense, to seek immediate punishment over, enacting by the rules of the state and federal government, which he is a property of, I might add. And he threw a big fit in the office. Now, I've only seen... I'll explain what kind of fit he was in. He was as if he was 7 years old. He was throwing a tantrum in the office. He is smashing his fist on the tables, trying to slam doors almost off their hinges, yelling, screaming at office workers over there about how unhappy or how unsatisfied he is, and how ungrateful we are because of what he has done for us in his country. And in the sense, I do understand where he's coming from. I totally understand what he's gone through. And I don't want to step on any toes when it comes to this kind of thing, because people who go to the armed services are doing something that none of us civilians can ever do, ever possibly dream of in our minds. But you have to understand one thing. We have to abide by policy and rules. That is the way it works around the real world. And if we have to accommodate for every single person, we'll never get anything done. Everything will just be thrown into chaos, which is why we have all these policy and rules. And we of course, we are always in the favor of the student, and we're always trying to understand where the student's coming from. So of course we have policy and rules fit for the students, along with fitting for the professors as well. But the amount of rudeness and attitude that he was giving the office more than likely showed a sign of weakness, and pretty much downgraded his little pleas for help, because it showed this kind of attitude that really does not really fit for the professional setting. He's basically showing that he can be just as childish as the professor was being towards him, and giving us a hard time. So in the sense that we could not help him in his problems. So it showed a lot of unprofessionalism on his part, especially when he was, in a sense, representing his armed service branch and what they are all about. So it looked really bad on his part. It looked really bad on who he was representing, and just overall just not good. Especially in the setting that we were in the office, where everything is just calm, collective, just business as usual, and then all of a sudden an eruption happened within the office. It was just really much a bad deal. And I told the guy, you know what? You need to step out right now, because you're screaming and yelling not only at professional people who are just trying to do their job, but also around women who have never seen this kind of thing happen in the office before. And I told him to leave, or else I would have to call campus police for what he was doing. It was just not a good thing. And my boss in the office was about 2 seconds away from calling campus police, until the guy decided to just calm himself down and march right out of the office. Of course, while marching out of the office, tries to take the door off the hinges, and it looked like he almost succeeded as well, because now the door's kind of messed up a little bit. There is based off hydraulics in order to stop it from hitting, you know, walls completely. So it's kind of messed up and kind of slow. We're kind of fixing that right now. But, you know, school budgets are always fucked up anyway. So, you know, it's going to take a while, right? So when you're dealing with that kind of people, especially around an office, it kind of is annoying, because then that means that you have to deal with that kind of person, try to, you know, explain what needs to be done and what has to happen. But of course you have to downgrade the situation itself, and I hate doing that kind of thing. Like, in all honesty, there is no reason for anyone to act that way towards anybody, especially in that kind of setting. And of course, I deal with that on a day-to-day basis. I actually got a phone call today of a lady who was being very rude to me, and I tried my best to help her out. You know, I gave her all the answers that she wanted, but she called me unprofessional, she called me unorganized, she called the school unorganized, you know, that you should do your job, that you're not supposed to treat the student this way. And I thought, well, what's going on? I'm not doing anything bad. I'm helping you out. I'm giving you all the necessary answers that I'm giving you. I'm telling you all the steps that you can take in order to get the situation ratified. But you're not hearing me out. You just want to basically rant to me about the school and about things that are not under my control. So, you know, in that sense, it was like, what's even the point of talking to you? I basically wanted to just call her a bitch and just hang up the phone. Like, that's what I was so close to doing it too, because, like, every part of me wanted to just rage at this lady for being so rude to me. And and honestly, I was very nice about it. I was keeping a calm tone. I was doing everything in my power to help her out, and she was just being a bitch. And, you know, for example, if that were to happen in a restaurant setting, I guarantee you, they would do something horribly wrong with your service there at the restaurant, not giving two fucks about it. Especially the kind of rudeness that she was displaying. Especially the kind of rudeness that that guy was displaying. You know, if anything like that were to happen in a restaurant setting, you would probably get, you know, reported by the police about it. And they would not give two shits about it either. They would just do it. They don't care. But again, I understand where they're coming from. And I understand that they want to get the service done. They want to have a good service done towards them. So, you know, I try to provide that. But if you're going to be a rude bitch about it, there's no reason for me to actually help you out. But there you go. And of course, not only do I deal with that in the office, but I deal with people like that while I tutor. But of course, that's, again, a different commentary for another time. So fuck it. I ain't going to even go through it. But anyway, guys, that is my ranting for the week. I am going to fucking chillax, drink probably, you know, heavenly. Nah, not really. I'm probably going to just drink some iced tea or water or some shit like that, and then just play some Minecraft or Team Fortress or probably some Battlefield 3. Whatever the fuck I feel like right now, because it's my 4-day weekend. I'm just going to relax, just play some awesome video games, and just enjoy myself. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you enjoy your day / evening whenever you are watching this. It's going to be probably a late upload. It's going to be, I guess, Friday. Friday, motherfucker! Yeah! But I'll see you guys later. This is SecondBlank saying peace out. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Later, Gators.